All right, welcome back to the podcast, everybody. Danny is my guest today. We're going to talk about how he got started in the pizza business and what he's up to now. So I'm excited to have him on the podcast and welcome him to the show. So, Danny, thank you so much for hanging out with me here today.
Good morning, Bruce, man. Thank you for having me. Appreciate you.
I follow you on Instagram. We've connected through there, and it looks like you're doing some cool stuff. So tell me a little bit about what you're up to, how you got into the pizza business.
The business is called Lunitas Pizza. I started it second year of COVID. So my regular 9 to 5 is catering business. I do taco catering, and then during COVID, all that just completely stopped. So I had to pivot, and I started a delivery service. So we started doing chilled meals, chilled burritos, and I was doing deliveries to all my catering clients. So that just became super boring, super quick. And then I'm like, I need to come up with something easier. So I'm like, why don't I just do a pop up out of my house? So we started doing the pizzas out of my garage. But yeah, it was not easy at all. It was not easy.
What kind of oven did you start making with?
Just the regular house oven. I
Oh,
bought
nice.
five Lloyd pans, and I just started. I started messing around with dough recipe, and by the first week we sold probably like two of them, and then just kept on going and kept on going. So,
Where did you know how to make pizza, or was it just like a learning process, or
no,
did
not
you
really, man.
research somewhere?
I would make pizza once in a while at the house. We'd just make round pies, but we'd probably just do them like twice a year, and they were good. They were good, but I just didn't know how to fold them out, and so
Yeah.
it was more of a mess than I was like, nah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, making pizza at home is cool because it doesn't matter what it looks like, and usually it comes out pretty good. Even bad pizza made at home is still pretty good.
Yeah, so that was one of the reasons why I decided to do this style of pizza. I feel like it's a lot easier to just extend the dough, um, and business wise, I thought it would be uh, easier version of pizza to do. And
Yeah.
that's the way it turned out. So we did them out of my house for about a year. I'd say by like the second, third month, like everybody was showing up. Um, Local sheriff's department, fire department. They were all like my biggest customers and cruise up with like 5 squad cars deep, and they'd bring the fire truck. And so it was amazing. It was like the community was supporting it, even though it was totally illegal. Yeah, but everybody was cruising. So we were
Wait, so
doing,
you were doing it illegally, but the fire department and the police department were showing up to get pizza?
oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
They weren't saying anything to you?
No, no. They were stoked. They were stoked.
That's great.
Yeah. So, yeah, so by the third month, we had a write up in like the local paper. So that just exploded, and then everybody knew about it. So it wasn't really a speakeasy anymore. So we started getting, text and text and text, and how do I get it? How do I get it? And we were selling about 40 pizzas a night, Wednesday, Thursdays, and
Wow.
Fridays. And I thought, cool, yeah, we got something brewing. So after about a year of doing them out of the house, we moved to a restaurant here in San Juan, which my parents own. It's a Mexican restaurant. And we have a dine-in area, and then we have the takeout section, and we had a space in the takeout section. So we tossed in 6 ovens, and I use Warren ovens. I don't know if you know those. They're like little electric ovens.
Yeah.
Well, that's back to when I was at the garage here. So I was using the regular oven, and then once we started, doing more than, you know, we just started doing high numbers. I bought 4 Warren ovens, and I was doing those in the garage, and then I had my regular oven in the house, and we were pumping them out like that. And then when we moved to the
Let me
restaurant,
ask.
about six
Let
years
me
ago,
before you get going into the restaurant. I want to bring it back to like your house. Let me ask you this: was it weird having people come to your house? Because I always think about doing like pizza, but I'm like, I don't want people coming to my house.
um, I live in a cool community where I know that, yeah, like I mean, I felt safe doing it.
Yeah.
But the way I did it at first was everybody had to pay me through Venmo, so I kind of knew who they were and kind of a vetting
So it
process.
wasn't like a random person coming to your house being like, "Hey, I
Oh yeah,
got a
well,
pizza."
oh yeah. So we're reservation only. So we're reservation only. So that's something that like sets us apart. I know there's like a few guys that are doing that, but so you have to text me, you have to get a reservation, and then you pick up your pizza at the certain time. Yeah.
So you kind of know who's coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it was.
that's
Yeah, I
super
never
interesting.
really ran into any issues with that. Yeah. So we would just open up the garage, open up, and then I had like table set up, and then we had like a menu board, and then we had the ovens in the back. It was dope. It was like a little store. Yeah, you should see. We have some photos on our Instagram.
That's great.
Yeah.
Do you still have that going? Like I would like keep that at my house for like when friends come over.
No, not anymore. Yeah, not anymore.
You
Everything's
get it
here
all
at
in
the.
the shop now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just getting too crazy. It was. My neighbors were awesome. They were understanding what was going on. Yeah, because I was hurting, man. I was hurting during COVID. All that catering just completely stopped. Yeah.
What were you
So
doing before? So you said you were doing catering. Like, where were you doing that out of? Did you have a spot or a truck or
So I
something?
do on-site catering. So I'll go to your house. We'll set up in the backyard. I bring a grill, and then we set up a buffet table. So I've been doing that for about 8 years, and pretty well known in the
Oh,
area. Yeah.
so then,
So
yeah, obviously, when COVID happened, there was none of that going on.
none of it, man. None of it. So we do a lot of corporate work. We do a lot of weddings. Mm, my minimum events are like about 50 guests. So none of that was going on. I did a few. Like few events, and we just masked up and did it, but it was rare.
Yeah.
So no
Now, so
deposits were
now you're
coming
in
in.
the.
That was the issue.
So now you're doing the pizza thing full time.
No, I'm doing both. I do catering
Oh,
and I do the
really?
pizza. Yep.
Which one do you like better?
Um, they're both cool. The pizza thing is also just because there's a little more. I know what I'm running into. Catering. There's
Yeah.
a lot of surprises. Yeah, with
Especially
setup
since
and
you're in. Yeah, and you're in your own spot now, so it's like you know how many pizzas you need to make, who's coming to get them. It's like a
yep,
little bit more structured.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So every morning, I try to get everybody to order in advance. So we'll open up our reservations on Monday, and we start just I have a Square app, and I start putting the appointments down, and then come Wednesday, then we have pretty much a fully booked night, and then the guys come in. I got a crew three, and we'll just start rocking. We'll just start doing those pies, and then just pump them in and get the guests out.
Well, how many do you
So
sell in a
yeah,
day now?
we're about 75 to like 80 something. I could do way more if I had more oven space. Yeah, for sure.
That's great. I mean, yeah, but 75, 80 is a pretty good amount of pizzas for a
Yeah, I don't
short period
know.
of time.
What were you doing when you had your pizzeria? What's like an average? I have no clue.
Oh, so we were a delivery place. We would probably on a Friday night we would probably do 500 pizzas,
Yeah, yeah, that's
but
crazy.
that was all day, 12 hours. And we were established. We were around for a long time. Monday, 150, 200 on a Monday, probably the slowest day for us. But different kind of pizzeria. I would much rather do a structured amount of pizza, like where you're going to sell 70 or 80 and you know how to prep for it. You know exactly how many you're going to do. It's way easier to do that than it is to be like, all right, how many are we going to do tonight? Sometimes it's 100, sometimes it's 200. That's a drastic difference to prep for and to get employees for when you don't really know how many you're going to sell.
Yeah, the cool thing is that I try to start by like 4 o'clock, and we usually end by like 8:30, sometimes earlier. Um, so I mean, it's not really a lot of hours, and
Which is great.
yeah, and then I could
I,
focus
I
on the
would
catering on the.
I would much rather do that. I would much rather do like a short period of time. And I've probably said this. People are probably sick of me hearing me say this on the podcast. That's kind of like what I would do if I was starting a pizzeria over today. I would be like, it would be short hours, and come get the pizza we're going to make the best pizza we can. It's going to be short hours, and we're going to know exactly how many we sell and be ready for it, and then we're going to be done. And that's it.
Yep, and we're super limited on what we do. Like we use high end quality stuff, but we have very limited ingredients. So I think I probably only do about like 7 different style pizzas, and two of those are not even like on the menu, so you have to know that they're available. So like they're like secret pies, so it's super easy on us, and yeah. I mean, I'm
That's smart.
having
How do
fun, man.
people?
We're having fun
Yeah,
doing it.
I mean that's the point of business, right? Like I know business is about making money, and you got to be profitable, and you want to make money, but you also want to enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah. I have a lot of like pizza guys that come in and they're visiting me, and they, like from like local pizzerias, and they're like, "What the
Yeah,
hell? How are you doing it with this?" And you guys are so like organized and blah blah, blah. It's like, dude, yeah, because I'm only doing like freaking 6 different pies, man. And like I don't like, I have guests that want olives and they want all the shit. I'm like, nah, this is what we have. They're amazing. Like get them, and then maybe in the future, maybe when we have a little more
how do
space.
people order from you, or how are you getting the word out about what you're doing? Is it mostly Instagram?
Yeah, it was Instagram and a bunch of word of mouth, man. Like it's crazy how quickly this side of like this business grew versus like my catering business.
Yeah,
So I started Taco Shop like maybe about like 8 years ago, and I only would use Facebook for marketing.
yeah,
Like Instagram wasn't really a thing back then, and it was super slow to grow, you know. And then this, like I said, we've only been doing it for 2 years, and our Instagram presence is pretty good, I would say. I mean, we have pretty good following, and that's it. That's it.
wow,
I
that's
haven't really
pretty.
messed with TikTok yet. I want to. I already have an account set up, but everything is funneled through Instagram, really. So you go through Instagram, you can see our hours, what we're doing, the menus, and then you have to text me directly. You text me directly, and then I'll send you. So if you're a new, I send you a automated message that I have. It
Yeah,
says where we're located. We're cash only. These are the hours, and then we set you up.
that's cool. In what? Where are you located again?
So I'm in Orange County, South Orange County. So I'm like right next to San Clemente. So we're in San Juan Capistrano.
Okay,
We're well known
and
for
then
like the Mission, the San Juan Capistrano, the Swallows that come back to Capistrano.
oh, cool.
So we're in a
And
super cool spot, man. Yeah, yeah,
that's awesome. I love hearing stories like this, and I love that word of mouth is. People always think that because I do this show and I like Instagram and social media that's the only way to do. But like word of mouth is the best advertising. If you can get customers to talk about your business for you for free, that's the best form of advertising there is.
yeah. And then our boxes are dope. Like we do like hand stamped box. So they visually everything is appealing. The pizzas look great. So people just share it. It's like I don't know. We're kind of like it's not easy to get our pies, and it's kind of like an exclusive, cool thing. Yeah, like I think yeah, it's like we made it like that. Yeah.
Do you think it's ever going to change? Like, were you going to be expanding, or do you like the cool exclusivity of it?
I think this has like a lot of potential to grow. Yeah, but I wouldn't want to. So I think what I would want to do is do like maybe about like 4 or 5 different little like small satellite spots.
Yeah.
Where we just do like the takeout, and then have one larger spot with like a brewery, and then you go to the counter, you order your pizza, and then we bring it to you, something like that. And then out of that large spot, that's where we do all our baking, all our sauce making, and all that. Yeah, that's what
I
I would
see
want
your
to do for sure.
I see your logo behind you. If you're listening to this, obviously you can't see it, but you can see it if you watch the video. Is that the logo that you put on your pizza box that you were just talking about?
Let me show you what I got.
Yeah, let me see.
Like this is one of them.
Oh yeah,
So
got a
like
cool
so
fucking.
we've done like a lot of cool stuff with like local artists and buddies of mine. So we've done like I think like 4 different like shirt designs, and that was like one of the shirt designs. And then I did a stamp. But next stamp would be definitely that. Yeah.
Do you come up with the idea for the shirt design or the stamp design, or do you go to your friend who's an artist and be like, hey, this is what I want?
The way it came out, man, like so when everything was just going to shit, and I was like tired of doing like the delivery stuff uh, for the first part of COVID, I sat down and in a room, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna come up with like a business plan. And I came up. My daughter's name is Luna. One of my daughter's
Okay.
name is Luna. Lunita means small moon. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna call it Lunitas. And then I just started doing some sketching, and then I sent that sketch over to my buddy of mine. He just created our original logo. I don't know if let me see if I have something. Yeah, this is like our original logo right here. I don't know if you can see
Oh
that.
yeah.
But I think all this matters, man. I think all of that matters. Like a the art, the design of the boxes, all that attracts people, and I think I mean, at least me personally, I think.
Well, no, I agree with you. I think I
It
talked
helps.
about that with last week with Alex too from Hot Tongue Pizza about the logo, and I think that your overall feeling of your business and the vibe of your business definitely matters in all of your content and all of the things that you put out into the world that have to do with your business need to align with that. And I think that the reason yours works so well is because it's unique. It's unique. It's different. It's probably a lot about your personality and what you like, which makes it
Yeah,
translatable to other people.
yeah, and we have a music bumping too, like so it's cool because you're walking into like a restaurant. There's no signage. It's a Mexican restaurant. So you walk into this large building, you're where the fuck's Lunitas, Then you got to walk into the takeout section, and we're like in this like corner. But as soon as you walk into that room, it's not Mexican music playing. We got we got a little mix. I got a mix of everything, like reggae, rap, and classic rock and whatever. But it's like you're transformed into a different spot, and then you come to our little corner and you get your pie. Yeah.
I love it. I'm on your Instagram right now. I'm scrolling down. Your pizzas look great. So you make a Detroit style pizza. I don't know if we mentioned that earlier. We know we talked about like that it's easy, the kind of pizza you make.
I'd call it like kind of like a hybrid, man. I don't really like when people call it Detroit style. I feel it's a little different.
What is it? What makes it different?
Yeah. The cheese, because a Detroit pie is, I think, brick cheese, sauce on the top, all the ingredients on the bottom,
Yeah.
and then you get the crispy crust on the side. So I'm heavily influenced with my background. So I'm Mexican, so we do a lot of pies that have like some Mexican influence to them. But we do a different cheese blend. We don't ever put the sauce on the top. I think, and our bread's more of like a focaccia bread.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't really call it a traditional Detroit pizza. More like a pan pizza, I guess, or Sicilian mix. But whatever, yeah, it looks like a Detroit.
Well, yeah, and no, forgive me, correct me, because I don't want to.
No.
Yeah, what your pizza is, it's your style, it's your thing. Like I want you to
No,
describe
but it's
your pizza how you want
definitely
people to
Detroit.
see it.
Detroit, definitely Detroit inspired. But yeah, I would say
I like it though. But it looks phenomenal.
Thanks, man.
I'm looking at the one right here. I mean, is that pineapple on a pizza? You're gonna piss some people off with
Fuck
that,
yeah.
but not me, but some
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, I started doing the pineapple thing, and people just went crazy for it. Yeah,
I don't mind.
I personally, I'm okay with it. I mean, my favorite pie is a pepperoni mushroom. That's what I like.
I'm with you. Listen, I don't know if I would get pineapple on my pizza, but I'm okay if somebody else has it on their pizza. What do I care?
And whenever I post photos of that, those are like the ones that do the best. Like
Because it's
the
controversial.
pineapple one. Yeah. So I call that pie forbidden fruit. So that one is the pineapple, pepperoni, jalapeno, and then the base is a different sauce. It's probably tomato sauce, and then we do chipotle crema. So it's a mix, so it's a little spicier. Yeah.
That's pretty good. And you don't deliver or anything, right? Everybody has to come to you.
No, yeah. At first I did. At first I did for when I was just doing 12 pies. I'll do it,
Really?
but we do delivery. But now it's way busy. Yeah. I can't. Yeah.
Who delivered them? Did you go deliver them, or did you have somebody deliver them?
Yeah, I would do them. I would deliver.
So you
Just
make them
run
and then
out
go
and do it.
deliver
I mean,
them?
we were just doing local. Yeah, we do. Yeah. Yeah, man, I was hustling.
I
I was
love
doing
that.
everything.
But now you
Well,
don't
my
have to,
wife
right?
helps me out a lot too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I got a good crew of guys that help me out a lot. My wife helps me out a lot. So, like I said, I'm stoked to be doing this. Never in a million years did I think I'd be doing pizza, man. Ever. If it wasn't for COVID, I would never be doing this.
That's funny.
It's crazy how the world works.
It is. So ultimately, was your pizza, like, where did you learn to make the dough? I know you said you made pizza at home, but like, where did you learn to make dough good enough to sell that people would talk to other people about?
YouTube helped out a lot. I would see a lot of, recipes and then tweak them. And man, I had no clue that flour was so complicated. I thought flour was
Right.
flour, and I started with, just like an all-purpose or a bread flour, and then, you start seeing that the hydration levels mess with certain flour a certain way, and you know, so yeah, it took me a while to get the dough right, but I think we're spot on. That's what makes us unique too. It's the dough. It's anybody can make a pizza, but the bread has to be spot on, or else.
It does. It all starts with that. If your dough sucks and your bread and the crust is not great, then I don't care what kind of cheese you use or sauce, it's not going to mask that.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you pre-cook
So,
it? So you said it's more of a focaccia. So do you pre-cook it and then top it
so
after?
we'll part bake in the morning. We'll have those ready. We cool them down, and then we'll start service like at 4 o'clock. I feel like it's because I'm not really having to worry about room temp. If I par bake them, then during the day, they're not going to be rising and overproofing.
Yeah.
And then I don't see how people like would build on top of that and then not, and then having it rise. Like I feel like the rise is going to be perfect, and then we build on top of it. And then go on, yeah.
You've never worked in have you ever worked in a pizzeria before? I know you've worked in restaurants, but not a pizzeria.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Nah,
So
never.
I like that
No,
you're
no.
coming at it from an outsider's perspective, 100%.
Yeah. It was just, like I was always trying to find that perfect pizza, and could never really find it. Like I don't understand why. So I make a vegetarian pie. It's named after my sister, Christina.
Yeah.
She's a vegetarian. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make an amazing like vegetarian pie. So like, I don't understand when you order like vegetables from like a pizza place and they're like not properly seasoned. There's no flavor on that. So what we'll go ahead and do a little olive oil, salt, pepper, and then whatever other seasoning prior, and then we'll go ahead and roast it and then top it. So just like little things that I noticed. We would go to pizza spots, and I wonder what I can do different.
Listen,
And improve it.
and it's working for you, right? Because you're growing, people are talking about it. And I think that's what a lot of people make a mistake. They try to like duplicate what somebody else has done, which is fine, but you also want to put your unique spin on it. Like what makes you, we're all trying to separate ourselves from what we're doing and try to make it so that like we can put our own stamp on it and be like, this is mine, this is my unique spin on it, this is what I like, this is what I do. I think that's the perspective that you have. You're coming at it from like, all right, I want the pizza and I got pizza. What did I wish was on this pizza that I could do in my shop differently than they are doing?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think it's getting to like sometimes I'll do like a trust me pie where, I'll say, okay, on my Instagram, I'll say it's a trust me pie. And then, I'll only do like 12 of them. And then I'll get people text me right away. Okay, I'll take one of those. Like they just, regular customers, I already know it's going to be something, bomb. And I don't know.
That's a good idea. So what is it? Hold on. So the trust me pie is like you just get to create whatever you want for that pizza, and they just
whatever I feel like doing, like literally like that day, that day. Yeah.
And how do you come up with the
Well,
idea?
the nice thing is that I have I'll like literally will just come up with stuff like I'll come up with stuff like in like 10 minutes. Like I'll walk in through our kitchen and see what looks cool. Like, cause we have the Mexican restaurant here. So I have, carnitas, I have al pastor, I have asada, I have all sorts of stuff too, and I have a walk-in full of produce as well. So I could just mess around. I don't know. I get inspired in the moment.
I like it. I like that. That's a great idea to have the trust me pie. But you have to have, you have to have sell a good product though, because people have to really trust you to give you their money for something that they don't know what they're going to get.
Yeah, I'm not going to do like a anchovy pie or something like that. It's good.
It's got to be good, right? If they're going to trust you, you better make it really good.
Yeah.
How often are you doing that?
Not very often. I'll probably just do it like once every 3-4 months.
That's great.
Yeah.
What do you? So you've obviously had a shop now. You're in a brick and mortar, kind of like you've been doing it a little bit
Mm.
inside of a shop. Been the biggest surprise for you that you've noticed, or what are you most happy about, or what's one thing that you think you'd want to change?
Um, Space wise, I'm working in a small little spot. I mean, I wish I would have a little larger space to go ahead and prep and work. Uh, Things that I've dealt with, nothing really, man. Like everything has been actually pretty smooth. Um, what I like to tell people is that don't. I mean, I'm doing it with like little Warren ovens. I'm doing it in a small spot. I don't think you need to invest in these crazy ovens to get a business going. So um, that's what I've learned. I guess that I'm still able to do what I was doing in the garage in a restaurant space. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you can. I think that's the one good thing that came from 2020 is that the ability to kind of start small and grow your way up. And I think people are a lot more receptive to it and okay with it and familiar with it. A business is starting like you started versus before that. Before 2020, starting a pizza shop in your garage might not have been as
Yeah.
acceptable.
No, not at all.
And now it's like
No way.
there's so many people who have started that way, and I love that it's started a lot of businesses, and it started a lot of people's journey into the pizza world where they were doing something else and they wanted to do pizza, and it's like instead of investing a shit ton of money in buying a brick and mortar, they could be like, you know what, I'm just gonna start get an oven, sell to some of my friends, and take it slow and see how it goes, and if it grows, that's fantastic, and if it doesn't, I didn't lose my house or my life savings because I invested in this pizza shop.
Yeah, I also bought some uni ovens as well. I haven't taken them out of the box yet, but we're going to be transitioning this to catering as well. Um, Still just haven't narrowed down all the final planning on that, but I know that there's demand. I've had a ton of people ask me for it.
Yeah, I know that there's a lot of people out there, especially if you already have a good clientele like you have. I'm sure they're going to be having birthday
Yeah,
parties and wedding rehearsal dinners and all that stuff that they're going to want to have you come. It's a good next step to open that up, and
yeah,
hopefully, knock on wood, nothing like 2020 happens again. So that was like our once in a lifetime thing like that.
yeah, yeah. That was like I said, it was gnarly, but it was kind of a blessing too, where a lot of people got to experiment with a lot of things at home and and started all these like amazing businesses. Man,
So you kind
I
of
know in my area there's a ton of bakeries that
yeah.
just popped up out of nowhere, and a lot of cool stuff came out of it.
Let me ask you this: you seem like you are you serve pizza, but you don't necessarily seem like you're in the pizza community, and I mean that in a good way. Almost like like me, like an outsider looking into the pizza community. Like, do you follow anybody in the pizza community or anything like that, or do you just kind of like, you know what, I'm gonna do my own thing?
I just follow like local guys, but yeah, I could care less about all that. I got invited to go to the Vegas convention. What is it? What is it? I
Pizza
don't even
Expo,
the pizza convention.
yeah,
What is it?
Pizza
Pizza
Expo.
Expo. Yeah, I got invited to go out there. I'm like, no, fuck that, man. If I go, I'm gonna go out party and drink and gamble. I don't want to be sit in any seminars or any of that stuff. Like,
Yeah,
um, who do I follow? Chris, from the Neapolitan guy in New York. He's a cool guy. I like him.
okay,
I follow Anthony Falco.
yep.
He's been awesome. I reached out to him when I first started out, and he gave me some recommendations on flour to use, and he's been dope.
That's cool.
Who else do I follow?
Who are some local pizza places
But not
in your
really.
area that you would go to check out their pizza shops?
Um, There's a place called Terra Mia that makes like a good round pizza. That was like my go-to spot.
Yeah,
That was it. Yeah, there really isn't any great pizza around here. I don't think.
that's good. That's good to know.
Yeah, I think you'd have to probably like travel to LA to get something like really good.
How far are you from LA?
About a hour away, maybe an hour away to downtown
Is
LA.
that like an hour with traffic
Yeah,
in that area, or is that like an hour like without it traffic?
yeah, a little. Maybe you'll probably yeah with traffic. The traffic. The nice thing is I'm right in the center, so I'm LA's to the north, San Diego's south of me.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you got the
yeah,
great
but
weather there.
yeah, yeah. It's been super rainy this season, but typically we always have great weather.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was rainy. I was just in LA probably about a month, 2 months ago, maybe, and I was there for a week, and it rained every day.
yeah, it was nuts. But it seemed like sales went up for like the pizza. Like we were like, in our Mexican restaurant, it seemed like our dine in kind of was like struggling, but our I was selling out quicker those weeks. Yeah, felt like I don't know, rain helped out a lot with the pizza.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm from the Northeast, so rain, cold. It was kind of like I was in Boston again for April. But yeah, it helped. Definitely, rain and cold helps people stay in the house and order pizza.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So where can people go say hello to you if they want to follow you on Instagram? What's your Instagram handle, or do you have a website?
I do have a website. It just nothing special on it. Just says a little information about how we started. It's lunitaspizza.com. And then our Instagram is Lunitas Pizza. We're on Instagram.
And
It might be Lunitas underscore pizza. I'm not sure.
yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Lunitas
Yeah.
underscore pizza. We'll link all that up in the show notes too. If you go over to smartpizzamarketing.com, we'll link up your website,
Yeah.
your social
And I just
media.
wanted to give a shout out to all our customers that have been supporting us since COVID. We have the people that have been following me since we were in the garage and, followed this crazy little journey, and now we're here, and they're amazing. I wanted to say what's up to everybody.
That's amazing. Danny, thank you so much for hanging out with the podcast with me. It was fun talking to you. I'm excited to see where your journey goes next.
Thanks, bro.